Good afternoon, guys. It's Working, bringing you a quick update on Bitcoin. Hope you guys are having a wonderful afternoon. We're looking at Bitcoin to US dollar. This is the 4-hour chart on Coinbase, and guys, what a 24 hours it's been. This is very, very interesting to me, guys. This just reeks of a lot of manipulation, a lot of games being played, and this is why it's so important, guys, that you wait for decisive moves. Bitcoin has been. You're going to get wrecked in this market if you start trading on emotion, that's literally what we saw everybody getting wrecked on all throughout 2018. And if you start doing that again, if you get the FOMO bug, you start trading on emotion, or to be fair, on FUD, either one is going to get you wrecked. So let's bring us up to date, guys. Where were we about 24 to 48 hours ago? I don't remember, guys. It's been just crazy. We were looking at this consolidation pattern here. At the short-term time frame, we were looking at a descending, broadening wedge, which is a bullish sign. However, as you guys know, we were operating within this larger rising wedge, which is a bearish sign. So if you remember a couple updates ago, guys, I told you I'm pretty sure this thing was going to break up. Probability said this was going to break up, but I told you that if this thing did break up, oftentimes you get a throw over. It may hit resistance, somewhere around 90, 9,500, and then come right back down. So what happened? Well, first of all, a lot of the traders that are left in this market are people that have been burned in the past or are just experienced traders. You have very, very few what I call guppies left in the market. Guppies is what we saw all throughout 2018 that got completely wrecked. So for market makers, for those that are manipulating price, they've got to be much smarter than they were back in 2018. So they knew that everybody's, at least the traders. Now I want to separate market makers from your average. I don't even want to say average, from your experience as a relative term, but for those people that have been around the block a few times, that know how to trade, and that know what patterns to look for, et cetera, et cetera. All of those people, which is probably the majority of people that are in the market right now, were looking at this pattern as a descending, broadening wedge or a bull flag. Either way, they were looking at this as more of a bullish pattern, looking for a break up, but keeping in the back of their mind the larger rising wedge here. And this is why I talked about both things. And this is why I talked about watching for that throw over and then a reversal, a completely reversing course and coming back down. Instead, what they did, they drove price up and they took out the prior high. As I said yesterday, that was so important because most people that are going short on the short-term time frames are putting their high right above this prior order structure, which would have been around 9,000 to 950. So we saw that wick up there to try to liquidate those short positions, and then we just saw a nasty drop from 9,990 all the way down to $7,976. So, excuse me. We saw a greater than $1,000 drop, and we saw that happen inside of 8 hours. So this was just nasty. Why is this? And this just shows you how many games are being played. So when price broke to the upside here, broke out of here, most people were expecting price to continue to the upside because they were looking for that, that decisive break. But I told you on the update, if it does break up, you want to wait for price to take out that 8950-ish or 8900 decisively. What did we say by decisively? Again, guys, a daily candle, both opening or even, I think I may have said even a 4-hour candle, which on a smaller time frame that would have worked. A 4-hour candle opening and closing above. And this is why I say that. It's so important to wait for that confirmation, guys, because as soon as price broke out here, a lot of people jumped in on this trade thinking this thing was going long. And if you did that, you obviously would have gotten wrecked. You need to at least wait for the 4-hour candle, both opening and closing above. Now, if you were using 8,900, you could say that we had a 4-hour candle close, and you would be exactly right. But did we have a 4-hour candle both opening and close? No, we did not. So again, this is why I always want to hammer this home to you guys. Wait for that confirmation. On the smaller time frames, maybe a 4-hour open and close. On the larger time frames, a daily open and close. Okay, why do I bring that up? Because then price got slammed down. And as I discussed yesterday, we were looking at that. This completely invalidated this descending, broadening wedge. Not invalidated, it actually played its role. Price did end up breaking up there. But then price broke out of the ascending wedge here, guys. The rising wedge, excuse me. And as soon as it broke down here, what was everybody thinking, especially when price wicked down below here. Everyone said, that's it. We're coming back down, guys. And admittedly, that's what I was looking for. I thought probability was definitely, not definitely, nothing is a definite, but probability favored the way this thing was dropping, price to continue down. But again, what was our saving grace, guys? It doesn't matter what I'm feeling. It doesn't matter what it looks like on the chart. It matters our fundamental, or excuse me, our technical analysis in the rules that you follow. In the rules that you follow, even if you're following the smaller time frame, you wait for what? When you get that decisive break, and remember, I've been talking about this area of support between 8150 and 8400. I've been talking about this for, let's see, at least since back here on when we had this double tap. So that was back on what, May the 20th? So at least 11 days now, almost 2 weeks now, we've been talking about this support. And I said, once we get a decisive break below this support, and I think I referenced the daily, but even if I referenced a 4 hour, which on this, to be fair, I would have been looking for a 4 hour. I can't remember if I may have told you a daily, but to be fair, with my own trading, I probably would have been looking for a 4 hour here to try to front run this to get ahead of it. A 4 hour opening and closing below support. Did we get that? No. We got a long wick down here. Why is that relevant? That's just showing you that market makers know what you're looking at. They knew that you're looking at this rising wedge. And even though it often does play out, this was kind of our signal that maybe some games are being played. And then now we had that breakdown here, guys, and that buy up below the area of support down here at about 8,000. It was what, 7,987-ish, and then put right back into our area of support here. So again, this is why you don't want to trade on emotion, even though it's so tempting when you see price breaking down here to want to follow and chase price and jump into your short position, guys. It's so tempting to do. Don't do it until you get that decisive break below. So the bulls pushed it right back up, and here we are consolidating once again right in this area of support. And we've actually rallied back up to what, 8,000, at least on Coinbase, we rallied back up to about $8,456. So just the bottom of this area right here. So I'm going to be watching very closely now this area right here between about $8,460 to about $8,530. This is the area I'm going to be watching very closely. I need to see price close above this zone. If we can see price close above $8,530, a daily candle, both opening and closing above, or to be fair, I very likely, on these smaller time frames here, I very likely would use a 4 hour candle, both opening and closing above. That's going to, in my opinion, be confirmation that we're going to come back up and at least test about 8,700. And we'll have to wait and see. I do think 8,700 is going to be a very good test. If we can get above 8,700, then we're very likely going to take another shot at breaking out above 9,000. Looking at the daily RSI, guys, daily RSI has this ascending support line, guys, that's been respected since about, really since September of 18. It's a very impressive, very impressive ascending support line here. We can see we're coming down, almost trying to test it here. I'm going to be keeping an eye on this very close. A break below this, guys, does that mean we're crashing back down? No, but it'll really get my attention if we do break below this ascending support line here. That will be one thing that I'm going to be watching very closely. Again, does it mean that's the only thing I'm going to be looking for? Absolutely not. But of course, what do? You find little pieces of the puzzle and you try to put the puzzle together. That's going to be one piece I'm certainly going to be eyeballing very closely. Looking at the MACD, a little bit of actually hidden bullish divergence there, which we've already kind of seen played out there, guys. So yeah, that more than likely is already cleared. Not going to put too much weight into that. That really kind of gave us our bounce from that low of 8,000 to current price point of about 83.77. And that really, let's call it 8,400. Coming over, checking longs and shorts, guys. Shorts again, fairly stagnant. Really not showing us much of anything. Longs, a little bit of an uptick here in longs. Again, nothing too significant though at the moment, guys. So yeah, oftentimes you can get kind of an idea, as I said, as you guys know, comparing longs and shorts, guys, but they're just not really giving us much, not much to go on right now. All right, checking the 4 hour, sitting at the bottom Bollinger Band there, guys. Again, a little bit of a bounce, not too surprising. Looking at the 4 hour here, guys, if we can again get back above this 21 period EMA on the 4 hour, that would be something that would get my attention a little bit. But really, the all eyes, as I told you yesterday, looking at the daily chart now, all eyes are going to be on this 21 21-day EMA. Again, if we get a decisive break below the 21-day EMA, and again, I don't mean a wick below, but a decisive break below, which means in this case a daily candle both opening and closing below the 21-day EMA, that is when very likely we're going to be starting that larger correction. By larger, I mean that 35 to 45% correction. Now, does it have to be 35 to 40%? No, it does not have to be 35 to 45%. And most people are looking for a larger 35 to 45% correction, guys. So Bitcoin kind of has a way, as you guys know, I tell you all the time, Bitcoin has a way of making the suckers out of the most people. Crypto does, just in general. And so what does that mean? That means that, yes, every time we've had a parabolic move, we've eventually had a correction of 35 to 45%. If everybody's looking for that, though, can you see Bitcoin just jumping down here and correcting maybe 25%, maybe even 20%, and then getting a nice little bounce off that zone? Yeah, I can see it doing either that or having a much deeper correction down to around 55, 60%. Now, I seriously doubt that's going to happen, guys. I really do. I think the more likely scenario would be, if one of those two was going to play out, I would say a more shallow correction. But, to be honest, I'm still looking for about a 35 to 45% correction, to be fair. Eventually here. Doesn't mean we can't have one more kick up. We certainly can. If anything, the only thing consistent about cryptocurrency is it consistently surprises. Never forget that, and you'll make sure you don't get wrecked. There's just in all likelihood, we're going to at some point, whether it's here or whether it's after one kick up, get that 35 to 45% correction. And again, I'll reassess that if and when we take out 10,000 decisively without having that larger correction. All right, looking at the weekly chart, guys. Weekly chart, yeah, it does again look like it's stalling out, but that's just Bitcoin. We still have what? Today's Friday, still have Saturday, so we still have 2 more days left before this weekly chart closes here. And if this chart, if the weekly chart closes above the body, the low, I should say, the low of the body. In other words, the open. Let's just call it the open. Let's speak English. If it closes above the open of the prior week's candle, and that's going to be at about 8,200. If this weekly chart closes above 8,200, guys, then I'm going, I'll say that the bulls very likely, I don't even want to say likely, the bulls may have one more kick up left in them. If it closes below 8,200, guys, then I think more than likely we're going to start that, at least a correction. Whether or not it's a 35 to 45% correction, I'm not sure, but at least we're very likely to come back down to at least 75 to 7,200-ish. If we end up closing above 8,400, if we close above 8,400 here on the weekly, I get bullish. Then I think that we have a very, very likely at least taking another shot at 9,000. Will it take out that 9,000? Really, what was it, 9,990? Will it take, or excuse me, 9,090, 9,9090? Will it take that out, the prior high here? We'll see, but I think it at least can come up and take another shot at it. Zooming out on the weekly, and again, this is in log scale, guys. I've showed you guys this trend line here where we're finding what was support for so long is now acting as resistance, guys. In this chart, looking at the weekly, guys, this actually would suggest some consolidation sideways here, assuming we close above 8,400. Maybe creating a pattern like we saw back here on, back in April, where we were just getting some sideways movement here, guys. That, this suggests we may see some of that sideways movement here, at least for a couple weeks throughout June. Again, this is just one chart. This is just one indicator, guys. But that's certainly a possibility. There's no question that right now, guys, anyone that tells you that they know price is heading up or they know price is heading down, I mean, anyone that tells you that, you probably just better off not listening to them, because I'll be completely honest with you guys now. I don't know which direction price is going, but I have a plan for either direction. I can only tell you what I'm going to be looking at, because key indicators I'm going to be looking at, the key things I'm going to be watching. If this happens, then that. That's really all I can do at this point. As of right now, guys, really this is, we're going to have to wait for some resolution, and I would just highly recommend that you have a plan, that you know what you're going to do if price does come up and test the high again, if it does come back down and break below that the support at 81.50, just have a plan. And I know that's frustrating to hear from an analyst, guys. I know it's frustrating to hear price could go up, price could go down. And if you want to hear a moon boy somewhere, if you want to hear a perpetual bear, you're gonna have to go to a different channel. I'm just gonna kind of call it like I see it, guys. If I'm bullish, I will tell you that. If I'm bearish, I will tell you that. I have no problem. But when I'm neutral, when I'm looking at an area where you're stuck literally between resistance and support, and you're waiting for a decisive break below, I'm not gonna just pick a side and tell you that's the way price is going. I'm just not. Again, go watch another channel if that's what you want. And there are plenty of them out there. But right now, guys, I mean, we're again zoomed back in here on the daily chart. And yesterday, we just saw, basically, we saw market makers run price to I mean, this might just look like an anomaly if you're, if you're just somebody that's not familiar with charts. But if you look at what happened yesterday, this is a very meticulous, very well thought out run of price, running price up here, trying to take out stop losses just above this prior wick, and then running price literally within 8 hours right back down, right just wicking below that resistance area. And it's not just resistance. I mean, they're trying to fool a lot of people, not just traders that are trading based off pure technical analysis, but they're also trying to fool bots. They're trying to get bots to stop out. Why is my computer not working? Stand by, guys. All right, sorry about that, guys. I have no idea what the problem where was. All right, but if I grab my fib, as I was saying, they're actually trying to, let me just pull swing low, swing high. Remember, bots are dumb traders, right? So they just, data in, data out. That's basically it. And what did they do here? If we go swing low, swing high, off of either one here, and I think I pointed this out yesterday, or the day before, I don't remember which, but they ran it right below the 236. I'm pointing this out because oftentimes bots, they're programmed with various fib levels there, and they're just, again, data in, data out. So they're watching, they're thinking, if we do break below, we know this is an area of support, then you can just see that with the naked eye. So we're going to run it not just below that, but we also know we're trading against bots, so we're going to run it right below that first fib, the first relevant fib at the 236, and just wick right below it. Try to get people to try to stop the people out, even people that are just trading, that are just literal algos that are just stopping people out, and then run price right back up, and then see if how many people we can fool, how many people we can stop out. That's what you're seeing there, guys. This is not just some crazy anomaly. I know it just looks like chaos, but it's there's method to the madness. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things there. As far as how am I playing this, sorry, I forgot to put it. How am I playing this? Again, I'm just waiting for confirmation of a break below 8150. If we get that, really, if you want to be conservative, a daily candle opening and closing below 8150. But again, I will very likely, more than likely, guys, I will start to front run a position if we get a 4-hour candle opening and closing below 8150. I do think that's going to be a signal that price is going to be dropping down to about 7550 to 7500, somewhere in that range, guys. And again, I would not get greedy. If you are going to short something like that, guys, I would get out likely around 7600 to 7620-ish, because there's a lot of people that are going to be watching this range. If you're going long, when that does break down, I think you're going to be able to play the bounce off of 7500 to 7550. I think it'll be at least a couple $100 bounce, if not more, and then likely continuing down. And we've talked about all the areas that you can scalp on the way back down. If you're more of a long-term trader, if you're a swing trader, or again you're holding for maybe a month or two, or even if you're going long looking for a good entry position, again, I would just sit and wait. Patience is a virtue, my friends. Patience is absolutely a virtue in this market. Do not get greedy. Do not give in to FOMO or FUD. I'd wait for a decisive break above 80, this zone here, a decisive break above about 85.30-ish, 85.35 to be precise. A decisive break above that will likely bring us up to at least 87.20. I know that's not a big move, but if you're scalping, especially on leverage, that's definitely a worthwhile trade. If 87, let's call it, if 87.20 gets taken out, guys, if we get a decisive break above 87.20, I think that we're very likely going to come up and take another shot at taking out this high at $9,090, $9,090. This prior high, at least that was the high on Coinbase. Is that high going to get taken out? I'm not going to say it will, but I think probability will definitely shift in favor of the bulls if we can take out about 87.20. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap things there, guys. If you do have any comments, questions, suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, would appreciate an upvote if you have enjoyed this content. Until next time, guys, please trade safe. Take care of yourselves. This is Working, signing out.